And a good Wednesday morning to you, everybody. It is the third day of October 2018. I am Dan Kuntz, and this is Wake Up Wenatchee Valley, live on location this morning from Fieldstone Memory Care. A brand new facility is going to open their doors in about 30 days or so to the residents. They're going to open their doors tonight for a very special open house, so you can come in and tour this incredible campus and this incredible facility. And Fieldstone has invited us to come along and check it out. And so we did, actually twice. We're here live and will be for the next hour or so. We'll be talking to a couple of the good folks here at Fieldstone. And then yesterday we came down and kind of toured around and took our cameras and took a whole bunch of footage. You're gonna like what you are gonna see. It's a great, great facility. There's a certain wow factor as soon as you walk into the door of this place. As you can tell behind me, not bad, huh? I wish we had this set at our Wake Up Wenatchee Valley studios. So we'll be talking to Tamara, who'll be running the Fieldstone campus here on the local basis. We'll talk with her in the first part of our conversation. And then Doug Ellison, who is the CEO of Fieldstone Memory Care, will be joining me in the second part of the conversation, and we'll take a little virtual tour. He'll walk us through this incredible, incredible campus. And tonight is an open house with a ribbon cutting ceremony. They're gonna have music, they're gonna have entertainment, they're gonna have food. Make plans to come by tonight at Fieldstone Memory Care. We're on Red Apple Road, just right off Okanagan. You go either up Okanagan and take a quick left and you're right there. You can't miss it. It's a huge campus. It's set up off the road quite a bit. It's also a beautiful campus. We'll talk about that and a whole bunch more. Busy, busy Wednesday. Thanks for starting your day with us here on the NCW Live channel. You notice Steve Hare isn't here. Steve's actually taking the day off today. Grant Olson's going to handle the news. Everything else that you normally see on a regular edition of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley still applies today. We'll be taking a look at sports, including highlights from a great match last night between the East Mile Wildcats and the Moses Lake Chief in soccer. We'll get to that when we do sports. We have the obscure holiday. We have today in history. We have birthdays. Everybody's entitled to Mike Magnotti's opinion. So if it's okay with you, let's take a tour around North Central Washington with our Valley View cameras, and as always, the cross camera. Bats lead off. Might as well use the baseball analogy. We did the game last night, the soccer game last night, and didn't get back till late, and I was amazed to find out that the Brewers and the Cubs game was still on. In fact, it was an incredible baseball game. I love baseball analogies. There's the cross camera on a beautiful day. Cool. Boy, it's cold outside, and it's going to be cool today, and it's going to feel more like mid-October than early October when we get to the weather forecast in just a little bit. Let's take a look at what's happening up in Steins Hill on this Wednesday morning. Good shot there from Steins Hill. Beautiful area there. It's really chilly everywhere you go. In fact, right now, many locations are in the 30s. In the 30s. We're at 38 degrees outside of our studios. A little snow on Steins, wow. And by the way, Stevens Pass had a couple of inches of snow last night. I'm curious to find out how Mission Ridge did. I wonder if Mission Ridge got some snow. I wouldn't be surprised. The base of Mission Ridge is at 4,000 feet. And of course, the summit is at just about 7,000 feet. I would not be surprised at all if Mission Ridge got a little bit of snow. Let's head on up to Bear Mountain, which may have got a little brushing of snow as well. I don't think so. I seriously doubt it. Beautiful view of Bear Mountain and of course the lovely Lake Chelan area. Thanks for joining us, Lake Chelan. By the way, we're the number 4 rated local morning television show in the greater Chelan area, but we're number 1 in Manson. So we'll take that. Absolutely. And finally, Billy Goat. Billy Goat, Billy Goat. Maybe my favorite camera. The sun is just peeking up over the horizon. Pateras and View, Brewster in view. I got the two confused. Can't see Bridgeport, of course. It's stuck behind the mountain there. A beautiful view of Billy Goat, our highest camera. And on clear days, you can see Canada. Actually, on a clear day, you can see forever, but I'm quoting Robert Goulet right now. So thank you very much, Kat. Good job on our Valley View cameras. It is Wednesday, October 3rd from the National Weather Service. Let's take a look at your forecast. And basically, as you see, unsettled, cooler. Now, the good news is no wind, and we didn't really have as much wind as they were expecting yesterday. It kind of came and kind of went. It was a little dicey at the beginning of our soccer coverage last night. It was raining sideways, it was blowing, but that cold front kind of blew through a lot quicker than they were anticipating. So as far as wind today, none really to speak of. Now, we have quite a bit of sunshine this morning, but as the day progresses, we're going to see the clouds thicken up. We'll top off at about 61. Our normal high on this date would be about 70. So yeah, it's going to be cool. Cloudy, 41 for the overnight low tonight. Again, very little wind to speak of. Quite a bit of sunshine Thursday, a little bit warmer. High of 65 degrees. In fact, it looks pretty good on Thursday. Thursday night with clear skies, we'll dip down to just about 41, 42, right around there. Partly sunny Friday. Slight chance of some late afternoon showers. We should be dry for Friday night football. We're hoping so anyway. We got a 50% chance of showers later on Friday night, overnight low of about 43. Here's your weekend, Saturday, a lot of sunshine. High of about 65 degrees, lots of sunshine Sunday, and a high of about 66. Enjoy this beautiful weather on the weekend because it looks just about perfect because we're getting deeper and deeper into October. And a friendly reminder, we're losing about 2.5 minutes of daylight every day now. The sun is coming up after 7 o'clock in the morning, and the sun is going down, about 6:30 or so, and we will continue to kind of get that little direction, less daylight and more darkness as we progress our way deeper and deeper into autumn. Once again, we are broadcasting live at Fieldstone Memory Care. It's a beautiful facility. It's an incredible campus. The cameras are not going to do it justice. You're going to have to come in and check it out for yourself. We are in what they call the town square, and we'll show you some video of that as well. Again, the first thing that you'll notice when you walk in and you come into what they call the town square, it has the Pepsi Cola cafe behind me. As you see, it has the movie theater, has the Serenity Room, it has the art room, it has the spa, all that cool stuff. The first thing you notice, it feels like you're in a nice little small town square. And the ceilings are super high, and they're painted like the sky. It's all, if the devil is in the details, the folks who run Fieldstone and the contractors who are putting this together know what they're doing. You're going to love our conversation with Tamara and Douglas in the second half of the program. Steve Hare is off today. Grant Olson is handling the news, and he'll be coming your way in 1 minute. It's brought to you by our friends at Cascade Medical. Train with a physical therapist who loves the outdoors as much as you do. Cascade Medical, partners in your health.
The physical therapists at Cascade Medical love the outdoors as much as you do. But sometimes where there's love, there's also pain. Let us help you get back to the activities that you love. Cascade Medical, partners in your health.
It's Apple Days in Cashmere this Saturday and Sunday. Try your hand at gold panning or archery. Get the kids a free pony ride. See youth circus demonstrations and be sure to catch a mock gunfight from the Wild West. It's fun for the whole family during Apple Days at the Cashmere Museum.
Club Crow Bar and Grill, home of the blues, brews, and barbecue in downtown Cashmere.
When you want to get the word out about your business, call the NCW Life Channel. We can help you with video commercials and website advertising.
And now it's time for your local news update with Steve Hare.
Good Wednesday morning. I'm Grant Olson in for Steve Hare with a look at your morning news headlines. 2019 looks to be an austere budget year for Chelan County. October is when commissioners begin the preliminary budget process as department heads submit their wish lists. Commissioner Doug England says the county should be able to cover the cost of basic services despite an expected drop in sales tax revenue.
But right now it's strong. Most of the projections have borne out, and so we look like we're in good shape. But we also have to be cognizant of the fact that a few of the things that brought us money in, everything from Old Station to Holden Village, won't be there in the future, and so we have to kind of plan ahead and figure out how we're going to spend things.
Okay. I'm guessing that when we get all our requests in from the department heads and other electeds, that we'll be like most other jurisdictions, we'll have more requests than we'll have projected revenue. And so, like Doug's mentioned, the fact that we have reserves to help offset whatever shortfall there might be to maintain the services will be very helpful to have those reserves. But when you talk to other places, other cities and counties, most that I've talked with anyway, they are having shortfall in what the projected revenues versus the expenditures will be. So I'm sure we'll have to do some paring down.
Unfunded government mandates are still an issue, particularly in the courts where counties are required to pay for indigent defense costs. Commissioner Keith Gaynor says it's a major issue that could end up in court.
The state of Washington is number 6 in the nation as far as states providing offsets for that, and so we as counties are very serious about filing a suit in order to get some compensation for the services that we provide on behalf of the state. Mm-hmm. So that will be something that could bring some relief to the counties, but then it puts a burden on the state too to figure out how to fund more of the indigent defense.
Chelan County's current year's spending plan totals $39.9 million. An 84-year-old Wenatchee man and his pet dog were injured after crashing his off-road vehicle on 5th Street yesterday morning. Captain Edgar Reinfeld says it happened around 7:15.
He was blinded by the morning sun and apparently drifted and struck a parked car hard. The driver was ejected from his vehicle, and I don't know what level of restraint he may or may not have been using. The many side-by-sides lack doors or effective doors, and so ejection's a lot easier than with an enclosed passenger car. But he was ejected, and his dog that was with him also suffered minor injuries.
The injured man was transported to Confluence Health for treatment. Beginning this month, the Chelan County PUD will conduct helicopter transmission and distribution line checks in Leavenworth and Lake Wenatchee. The PUD says the helicopters will fly at a low altitude along the power lines and will take photos and collect data using light detection and ranging technology and other sensors. The flights are set for business hours starting in early October and could take several weeks to complete. Well, thanks to cooler temperatures and higher humidity, fire restrictions have been lifted for most state lands in eastern Washington. The Washington Department of Fish and Wildlife lifted the restrictions on Monday on most department-managed lands. With a lessening threat of wildfires, restrictions were also recently lifted by the State Department of Natural Resources, which provides fire protection for many state wildlife areas. Fish and Wildlife still urge campers to be extremely cautious with campfires and any other activity that could spark a wildfire. Some localized restrictions will remain in place, including a campfire ban through October 15th at all the Department of Fish and Wildlife areas in Benton, Franklin, Yakima, and Kittitas counties. In addition, a campfire ban is in place at the Columbia Basin Wildlife Area in Grant and Adams counties. That's through October 31st. In other news, Washington Governor Jay Inslee is looking a lot like a candidate for president in 2020, Politico reports. Inslee will be in Johnson County, Iowa on October 14th to take part in two events. In June, he headlined an Iowa Democratic Hall of Fame dinner. Iowa is the traditional launching ground for presidential bids. Inslee told Politico he is not ruling out a run for the Democratic presidential nomination in 2020. He said his party needs a candidate who is, quote, committed to climate change and defeating climate change, end quote. In August, Inslee also said he was not ruling out running for a third term as governor. And that is a look at your Wednesday morning news. I'm Grant Olson in for Steve Hare, and I hope you'll join me later today for the NCW Life Evening News at 5, 6, and 10. Until then, have a great day.
Thank you very much, Grant. Grant, of course, is the man who handles the news in their anchor chair, and he does so with great aplomb. Mondays through Fridays at 5, 6, and 10. Those are your three chances to check out the news on television, or as we like to say in the business, TV. Grant Olson in the anchor chair at 5, 6, and 10. He also handles our weather forecast. Eric Granstrom with sports, our feature story, the whole 9 yards. What happened on this Wednesday, you can find out in one tidy little package at 5, 6, and 10. Available on demand on our website right around 5:30 or so in the evening. Go to ncwlife.com. You'll see the news. It's the first thing you'll see. And by the way, when you go to our website, make a point to set aside some time. There's a lot of information on our website. We populate it all the time. Also, our news is available on our Facebook page. Again, just about the same time, right around 5:30 or so. And you can be a part of the news team. Just look at your screen. And at the bottom of the screen, all the different ways you can get a hold of us, our studio hotline, our news hotline, our Facebook. You can Twitter, you can email us directly, news@ncwlife.com. Get a hold of us, give us input. If there's a news story we think we ought to cover, get a hold of us. We'll do our best to see that happens. Yeah, it's just about 14 minutes after the hour. Once again, what do you think of our new set? Pretty nice, huh? We're broadcasting live at Fieldstone Memory Care because this is what we call a transition. I'm going to hold this up, and then Kat is going to show it for you. It is the grand opening of Fieldstone Memory Care. It's an open house tonight from 5 o'clock to 7 o'clock. They'll be cutting the ribbon. The mayor of Wenatchee will be cutting the ribbon. Apparently, they couldn't get a real celebrity. Local music, craft beverages, delicious food. It's all about local. Fieldstone Memory Care has said, we want to be a part of the Wenatchee Valley because we love it here. So you are invited to the party at Fieldstone Memory Care. Big, beautiful facility right off Red Apple Road. You can't miss it. It's between Okanagan and Miller. Drive down Red Apple Road, and there you are. It's a big, beautiful, gorgeous campus and gorgeous facility. Don't take my word for it. Check it out for yourself. Fieldstone Memory Care. And again, we'll be talking to Tamara in the first part of our conversation piece in the second half of the show, and then Doug Ellison, who is the CEO of Fieldstone. Two conversations you absolutely don't want to miss, plus a virtual tour. We're going to take a break. When we come back, sports, the obscure holiday, today in history, birthdays, and everyone is entitled to Mike Mignotti's opinion. You are watching a live, on-location edition of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life Channel.
I have a doctor who knows what they're talking about.
It's just so much more hands-on and friendly than anywhere else I've ever been.
It's really great to walk into somewhere where you feel welcomed and you feel accepted.
We've just been grateful for the care and respect that we've been given there.
And here when I come to visit my doctor, I'm not afraid to ask questions.
It's not just about getting you in and out.
I love my care at CVCH. It's awesome. Give it a try.
Did you know that our pets can put on extra weight just like us? Obesity is the most common preventable disease in dogs and cats. Your pet's excess weight can lead to health issues like joint pain, arthritis, diabetes, high blood pressure, and more. Dr. Shauna Bayes and the staff at Paws and Claws Veterinarian Hospital care about your pets, and they can help you keep them lean and healthy. Call Paws and Claws today at 888-PAWS or find them on the corner 4th and Isle in East Wenatchee.
And we are back with our live broadcast from Fieldstone Memory Care. I am Dan Kuntz. Let's do sports. Eastmont got off to a slow start, but the most important thing is they finished strong. They held on to beat Moses Lake in Big 9 soccer last night on a raw, windy day at Wildcat Stadium. The final was 3-2. The visitors scored first in the 18th minute on a goal by Morgan Scone, and they set the pace with one onslaught after another. In fact, through the first 20 minutes, Moses Lake had actually outshot Eastmont 10-2. But the Wildcats made their third shot on goal count. Let's go to the highlights. Eric Granstrom and Matt Wiesen were there. We broadcast the game last night live right here on the NCW Life Channel.
With the left foot to it, and this one will be headed out of the box. Kept in, though, by Chang, and then she'll put the right foot to it, and then there's a ball loose, and a goal going to be scored by Eastmont. Coming up and following through was Whitney Lane. Give her the goal here in the 29th minute.
Yeah, that one, you hate to see that if you're a goalkeeper. That is so frustrating. They just dribbled out in front of them. Good on Eastmont for chasing that up. I've seen too many of them never followed up, and that ball just sits there harmless in front of the net.
And the corner kick instead will come outside, and then the right foot put to it, and oh, it caroms off and goes into the goal for the score. On a kick from way outside, and I think that was Mendoza who collects for Moses Lake. They lead it 2-1. Brown with the footwork, kicks it ahead, looking for Chandler. Chandler stops it, turns, has bodies. There comes the approach, and the chip shot, it's in! Beautiful approach, Mendoza with the goal, and we're tied at 2. Miller will retreat, come up with it, and the turn here. Here's a chance for Eastmont. Jaden Brown with the kick, and it's in for a goal, and the Wildcats take the lead.
Yeah, great finish. It's difficult when all you see is goalkeeper in a big, huge net in front of you. It looks a lot easier than it really is, but she picked that corner out perfectly, put it away.
Eastmont takes the lead for the first time here tonight, 3-2. The numbers again favoring Moses Lake right now, but somehow Eastmont always seems to find a way to counter. Mendoza with a turn, the center right there in front, and Cora Fry again somehow with 3 Chiefs right on her doorstep says no, the door is locked. One more chance. Krog down in the corner, it goes for Bunch. Bunch looking for a crease in that defense. Eastmont converging like the Red Sea down there, but they do not part. It goes out of bounds off the end line, and it will be a corner kick here for Moses Lake. Bunch quickly grabs after it, gets the ball, puts it down, puts a hand up, and here's the crossing pass. And it is headed by Mendoza. The ball loose out front, but then kicked away by Eastmont, and that's the game. The Wildcats will hold on for the victory tonight over the Moses Lake Chiefs by a final of 3-2. The only goal in the second half by Jaden Brown in the 47th minute. The difference of this one, and how about Eastmont holding on tonight to get the victory?
A very entertaining contest last night at Wildcat Stadium. Eastmont improves to 5-1 in league play with the victory. They're now in a first place tie with the Panthers. Atop the standings, both teams are 5-1. Moses Lake falls to 4-2 on the year. Let's go to the Les Schwab Prep volleyball scoreboard from last night. It was a busy night at Eastmont High School. Not only did they have soccer, but they had volleyball. And Eastmont defended their home court with a 3-0 shutout over Davis. Wenatchee went on the road and they lost to a very good West Valley team. Everybody loses to West Valley. The final there was 3-0. Chelan got the better of Cascade 3-0 in volleyball, and Manson shut out Liberty Bell 3-0. In a game that I think ended about an hour ago, the longest elimination game in Major League Baseball playoff history, the Colorado Rockies outlasted the Chicago Cubs last night in 13 innings. The final was 2-1, and they move on to the National League Divisional Series. And it was an unheralded backup catcher who was hitting 170, hadn't had a hit since September 10th, who came through in the clutch. Trevor Wolters delivered a 2-out RBI base hit on an 0-2 pitch to give the Rockies the game winner. Scott Oberg struck out the side in the bottom of the 13th to lock up the win. Colorado moves on. They will take on the Brew Crew from Milwaukee. In the National League Division Series, the wild card game this afternoon, tonight if you will, on TBS, the Oakland Athletics, who will lose in an embarrassing fashion to my New York Yankees. Yankees and Athletics in the American League wildcard game tonight at Yankee Stadium. And that is sports at just about 22 minutes after the hour. Once again, we're broadcasting live from Fieldstone Memory Care here on Red Apple Road in Wenatchee as they celebrate their grand opening party tonight. And they allowed us to come in and disrupt what would otherwise be a normal day with our shenanigans. Thank you very much, Doug and Tamara. Let's do the obscure holiday. And today is National Boyfriend Day. It's commemorated every October 3rd. It's an unofficial holiday for boyfriends to be spoiled, for the significant others of the boyfriends to, take care of the boyfriend, cook the boyfriend the meal, wash the boyfriend's car, pamper the boyfriend. It's an unofficial holiday. I did extensive online research about why October 3rd is National Boyfriends Day. I also try to figure out why we even have National Boyfriends Day. And this is what I've discovered. I have no proof of this whatsoever. I found it online. And if you find it on the internet, you know it's true. Happy National Boyfriend Day. Let's do today in history. A couple of Thanksgivings, believe it or not. It was on this date 229 years ago that George Washington, you may have heard of him, he fathered a country. He made the first Thanksgiving Day proclamation by the national government of the United States, October 3rd, 1789. That was our first Thanksgiving, and then we didn't do anything for about 75 years until October 3rd, 1863, when Abe Lincoln said, George was on to something there. I like this whole Thanksgiving idea. Let's make this a regular deal. So Abraham Lincoln on this date, on October 3rd, 1863, declared Thanksgiving Day as the last Thursday in November, and it's been that way ever since, thanks to George, who started the tradition, and then Abe, who picked it up and made it happen. Happened on this date, October 3rd, 1863. October 3rd, 1982, Scott Weiland runs the Detroit Marathon in under 5 hours. Very impressive. It's even more impressive when you realize that he ran the entire 26 miles of the Detroit Marathon backwards. I kid you not. Happened on this date 36 years ago today. I can't even walk 26 miles frontwards. That's impressive. And finally, the 10 minutes that absolutely galvanized this nation. Everybody stopped what they were doing on the morning of October 3rd, 1995, 23 years ago today. O.J. Simpson acquitted in the double murders of Nicole Brown Simpson and Ronald Goldman. We all remember that, where we were and what we were doing when we got the word that O.J. was found not guilty. It happened on this date 23 years ago today. And now let's do some birthdays. And they all have one thing in common. These people are all in their respective Hall of Fames. Eddie Cochran is in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and on merit too. 20 Flight Rock, come on everybody. Summertime Blues, something else. The great Eddie Cochran, one of my all-time favorites. He did it all. He even acted for a little bit. And he only lived to the age of 21, died in a car crash in Great Britain back in 1960. The legendary Eddie Cochran was born in the state in 1938, inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame with the second class in 1987. Dave Winfield is in the National Baseball Hall of Fame. He was inducted in 2001. Dave Winfield is 67 years old today. Dave Winfield was considered the greatest athlete, or one of the greatest athletes of his generation. He was drafted by 4 teams in 3 different sports. That's impressive. The San Diego Padres drafted him in the Major League Baseball draft. Of course, he ended up playing professional baseball for a living. He was also drafted by the Atlanta Hawks of the NBA and the Utah Stars of the ABA. Although he never played football, the Minnesota Vikings selected him in the 17th round of the NFL draft. Dave Winfield is 67 years old today. Stevie Ray Vaughan is in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. He was inducted in 2015. The American singer, songwriter, guitarist, Texas legend, one of the half dozen greatest guitarists of all time. Stevie Ray Vaughan was born in the state of 1954, passed away in a helicopter crash in the summer of 1990 at the age of 35. Oh, we miss Stevie Ray Vaughan, but the music lives on. And finally, how about a golf Hall of Famer, the pride of Seattle, Freddie Couples, of course, born and raised in Seattle, learned how to play golf in Seattle. Fred Couples, Masters champion, is 58 years old today. And yep, he's in the Hall of Fame as well, the Golf Hall of Fame. He was inducted in 2013. Those are your birthdays. It is Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. We're broadcasting live from Fieldstone Memory Care and will be for the next, 33 minutes or so. We're going to take a break. When we come back, everybody is entitled to Mike McNally's opinion. You're going to meet two of the people who make Fieldstone what it is. The executive director, the one who's going to be running the day-to-day operations of this campus, will be joining me. That's Tamara Steffen will be coming up in the first part of our segment. We'll take a break, and then Doug Ellison, who is the CEO of Fieldstone Memory Care, will be joining us as well. Wake Up Wenatchee Valley, special live edition from Fieldstone Memory Care on the NCW Life channel.
Yippee Skippy and Yahoo Wenatchee Valley, Collins Fashions launches our buy one red tag clothing item and get the next red tag clothing item free. That's right, free. Awesome selection of tanks, tees, capris, ankle pants, dresses, etc. Quality brands like Not Your Daughter's Jeans, Jag, French Dressing, Joseph Ribkoff, Tommy Bahama, and many more. Selected sale on Brighton and Lotus handbags and wallets. Sandals from Soft, Nicole on sale as well. Awesome sale, awesome service at Collins, where fun meets fashion in downtown Wenatchee.
I'm Jenny Rojanasatian, and this is Guada TV. Every week we will be bringing you a first look at North Central Washington business, tech, and education news. You'll hear from local influencers and innovators who live right here in the Valley. Together we'll discuss hot topics, current events, and resources that can support your business, our schools, and this community. Join me every week, and let's get inspired.
At Local Myth Pizza, we believe in real food, freshly prepared with only premium ingredients. Our cheeses are imported from Italy. Our sauces, dressings, and even our sausages are made in-house fresh daily. Featuring Northwest craft beers and 30 Chelan Valley wines and ciders. Family fun and amazing food. Eat local, drink local, and be local at Local Myth Pizza.
Come see why Sunset Magazine says you can't beat Local Myth Pizza.
When it comes to finding a memory care community, you want the very best. You want to know that your loved one is safe and receiving compassionate care in a loving environment. Fieldstone Memory Care is an innovative assisted living community designed for those with Alzheimer's, dementia, and Parkinson's disease. You'll find a community specifically designed to enrich residents' lives. The Fieldstone team is here to help you navigate the important decisions you face when a loved one has dementia or Alzheimer's. Welcome home to Fieldstone.
Leavenworth Oktoberfest. Fall is in the air and so is the aroma of sizzling bratwurst. It's time once again for the Leavenworth Oktoberfest. Enjoy 3 full weekends of fun for everyone. Your thirst will be satisfied with a variety of authentic German beer, and your hunger will be filled with German brats right off the grill. The sounds of Oompa will be delivered in 4 venues with live non-stop entertainment. For information or to purchase tickets, go on to LeavenworthOktoberfest.com. NCW Life Channel is proud to present the Spotlight on Business. We're going behind the scenes to bring you the story of local businesses throughout North Central Washington. How did they get started, and why are they so successful? We'll answer these and other questions each week with Spotlight on Business, Sundays through Fridays on the NCW Life Channel.
Hey,
Hey, this is Mike Mad Dog Magnotti, and everybody's entitled to my opinion. Now, a cool scene in the movie La La Land, you know, the flick that almost won Best Picture. The two main characters, Mia and Seb, were dancing and singing while commenting on what a waste of a nice evening it was, because at that point they weren't romantically involved. Now, when we saw that, Rosie and I both looked at each other and grinned, because many years ago we were on a church trip to Israel. I was going to go out for a walk, and I met Rosie in the lobby, and I asked her if she wanted to come. Well, we ended up sitting on a dock overlooking the Mediterranean Sea with a full moon, and we joked about how romantic it was and how bad we weren't two different people. Well, over 40 years later, I guess we were the right people after all. Now, I know this is schmaltzy, but I don't care. Hey, this is Mike Mad Dog Magnotti, and that's my opinion.
This is the NCW Life Community Calendar brought to you by Local Tel. The 16th annual Wings and Wheels is happening this weekend at Eastmont Community Park. There will be a cruise, car show, activities for kids, and more. The Leavenworth Oktoberfest Marathon and Half Marathon is happening this Saturday. Go to teddriven.com/Leavenworth-marathon to register. For more information on other community events, visit ncwlife.com.
Bob's Burgers and Brew in Wenatchee. Only the best. Bob's Burgers and Brew in Wenatchee. Only the best.
This is State Representative Kerry Condata inviting you to watch our new and improved 12th District 2.0 show. Now featuring more information on federal, state, and local issues in a leaner, faster format. Guest hosts John Wise and Shiloh Shower bring it all home with yours truly, Kerry Condata. Why do we call it 2.0? Because just like me, it's the stronger, faster, and lighter version of today's politics. Also available on demand at ncwlife.com.
Join me for Life with Lisa Bradshaw on NCW Life. It's not about my life, it's about yours.
And welcome back to a special live edition of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Well, we're live every morning, Monday through Friday from 7 to 8, but this is different because we are live on location at Fieldstone Memory Care on Red Apple Road for their big grand opening open house celebration, which happens tonight with food, with entertainment. How you got the mayor here tomorrow, I don't know, but you
got
did.
Connections.
Yeah, well, it's not who you know, it's who I'm related to. It's going to be a great party. My guest is the executive director of the Wenatchee facility, Tamara Stefan, and it says so because I have her card, and the card cannot lie. Welcome to the program.
Thanks.
You're a first-timer, so a little bit about Tamara. You've been in the Valley for a while now. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Sure. I came here about 25 years ago. I'm a social worker by background. I was working at Confluence Health for almost the last 10 years as a social worker, worked in geriatric social work, which is kind of where I really started to get more devoted to working with folks with dementia. Was looking up dementia services in Washington State and saw that Fieldstone existed and saw there was a position. I really wasn't looking for a position, but it just kind of dawned on me, wow, if I could immerse my life in caring for people with dementia, it would be a dream come true, and it has.
Well, I asked Doug about how you got the job, and he said she came highly qualified and highly recommended. So you have some friends who called up Doug and said, hey, this job's a perfect fit for you.
Oh, I'm glad it worked out that way.
Yeah. So how has been the transition now that you're part of the Fieldstone family? Are they treating you well?
It's amazing. Yeah. When I did a lot of careful research before I took this position because I wanted to find out about who I was signing up with. And what I love is not only is there some great marketing involved with Fieldstone, but everybody behind it has such sincerity and integrity that I am completely convinced that this is the greatest place to work.
You can see that when I talk to Doug. You
Yeah.
can tell, you know, there's people who can run a business, there's people who run businesses, but they lean forward a little bit, and you can tell they really honestly care.
Yeah.
And that's really the key.
It's across the board everywhere in all of our Fieldstones, yeah.
And I have been in numerous memory care facilities. I've never been in a campus like this. This is cool.
I know, it's amazing.
Yeah, it's really cool.
It's a beautiful place.
We'll talk to Doug a little bit about the whole town square and how they came to be. What will be your day-to-day job once the entire campus is up and running and have residents? What will your day-to-day duties entail?
Well, I think just keeping alive the spirit of Fieldstone. We have a mission statement, which is together we create a joyful and vibrant community. And it's not just a pretty little thing on a piece of paper. That's really what I'm committed to. And I think all of our staff are everywhere. But it's really making sure that the pulse of this community, it continues to be joyful and vibrant, from the staff to the residents who are here, to the family members, to the public who just want to come in and see what Fieldstone's all about and visit here. Our volunteers, everyone will be committed to keeping that. So that's part of what my day-to-day will be, is just keeping that vibrant feel throughout the building.
And you'll have a chance, again, to check it out in person tonight for the big open house. It begins from 5 to 7 with the ribbon cutting coming your way at 5:30. And you get to go to work in a beautiful campus.
Right?
This is really nice.
I know. It's such, everything is such intentional design. It boggles your mind as you go through it and hear what Doug has to share. Just the research that was put behind it has created something that's completely different. My grandmother had Alzheimer's, and I had the honor of being her caregiver. So I know firsthand in the home what it's like to care for someone, and then what it's like to try and find a place and give up that care and put your trust in someone else to care for your loved one that has been your loved one your whole life. It's a huge decision, and our building makes that easy, not only for you to decide, but also just the intentional design throughout this building helps take the load off of staff on some things that maybe just don't exist elsewhere, so that they can focus on keeping that love and intention and safety for our residents.
And that's the first thing you notice. There's no institutional feel to this campus at all.
Yeah, it's very home-like environment. And then it creates, as you'll see in the tour, just this environment of, wow, I really am in a community. This is my place. This is my home. And it's the dignity throughout is kind of well established for everyone, even in their rooms, in our town square, as you can see, and then throughout the whole building.
When the adult children and the adult family members of those who are making that transition into Alzheimer's or dementia, or they understand now they have some memory care issues and they need to be in a facility where they can still enjoy life and yet be taken care of, they're going to sit down with you. And how does that conversation work? Because it cannot be comfortable for either side.
It's a tough, tough conversation. So I have an incredible community relations director as well, Willina. So the two of us work together to help understand what they're looking for, because that's most important. We want to know who it is that they are looking for a place to transition to, and then see if we can meet those needs. I'm a social worker by background. I know this community well, and so helping people with that transition in resources that are available in our community as well, and then helping them see if we are the right fit for them. So a lot of that has to do with just what you're looking for. And when I see someone just make that decision, the family member, that sense of trust that they have just switched the light on to say, yeah, this is where I want my mom to be, is such an amazing feeling.
When we toured this facility yesterday, and again, you're going to have a video tour, but the cameras aren't going to do it justice.
Yeah.
And I talked to Doug. A couple of things that struck me as I walked through the facility. Because this isn't a retrofitted building that they said, okay, let's just turn this already existing building into a memory care facility. You're able to build it from the ground up, which is terribly important, But most of all, people will want to come here and visit their family members who are residents here, because of the way this entire campus has been designed, the layout, the rooms. It's warm, it's inviting. It's people are going to want to come here, and they're going to want to sit in the Pepsi Cola cafe with their family and have birthday parties and stuff like that.
Have a birthday party. Everywhere throughout, we want family and community to be here, but it is a tough thing to come visit your mom or your grandma or your aunt or your uncle when things are so different in their life. And so throughout our whole building, we've created it so that it's a place where you want to come and visit and be present, and we have activities involved for them all day long. And then also things that you can do to kind of engage in a new way with your loved one who's kind of making some pretty monumental changes.
Two more questions. Again, we're talking to Tamara Steffen, business card, who's the executive director. She'll be running the day-to-day operations here at the Wenatchee campus of Fieldstone. Two questions for you. Tonight is the open house and grand opening. We'll talk about that. When is the entire campus? I know you still some work to be done. There's still some, the fire inspector has to come on, all the permitting. When are you anticipating when you're actually going to have the doors open and you can start welcoming residents into this facility?
Yes, I'm anticipating it greatly.
Yeah.
But I don't know a date. No, I mean, we're at the mercy of the state, and so we're waiting for their gracious faces to arrive at our door. That's like a 6 to 8 week window. But I'm hoping that it'll go quicker. They'll be like, well, we got to get into Wenatchee. It's going to snow. Let's get over here. We're working with families regularly now to keep in contact so that if they have their family, they have a reservation here. We're taking reservations now and touring people now. And so if they want to move their loved one in, we're going to help sustain them wherever they're at. And then as soon as we get the go light, we're going to quickly and smoothly work everyone in.
You'll pass with flying colors.
I'm sure of it, yeah.
Talk about tonight. What can people look forward to?
It's going to be such a great event. So the Wenatchee Valley Symphony has a flute ensemble, and they're going to be set up in one of our wings. We have a violinist and a pianist. And then we have our chef has been working joyfully, sincerely joyfully, to create some great meals for us. We've got an incredible dessert. We've got local craft beverages that will be served right here. Also with root beer floats for families. So children, adults, everyone is welcome. We'd love to have anyone come.
Starts at 5, runs to 7 o'clock tonight. The ribbon cutting will take place at 5:30. It's going to be a party, I think.
It's going to be a lovely event.
I saw them prepping the food yesterday in the commercial kitchen. That's a heck of a kitchen,
Isn't it
too.
beautiful? Yeah, he's thrilled to be here. Yeah.
Yeah, I walked in there and she's working on the food, and I go, it's nice to have all new stuff. And she goes, yeah. She was all excited.
Yeah.
Tamara Steffen is the executive director of Fieldstone Memory Care here in Wenatchee. You'll have a chance to meet her in person tonight. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, the guy in charge. We'll be talking to Doug. When we return, you're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley, live from Fieldstone Memory Care on Red Apple Road in Wenatchee on the NCW Life channel.
It's Apple Days in Cashmere this Saturday and Sunday. Try your hand at gold panning or archery. Get the kids a free pony ride. See youth circus demonstrations and be sure to catch a mock gunfight from the Wild West. It's fun for the whole family during Apple Days at the Cashmere Museum.
Stop by Dones Valley Pharmacy to have an ice cream cone or milkshake at their old-fashioned soda fountain. Discover Eplidol in assisted living, affordable care in a home-like atmosphere with no long-term contracts.
This is the NCW Life Community Calendar brought to you by Local Tel. The 16th annual Wings and Wheels is happening this weekend at Eastmont Community Park. There will be a cruise, car show, activities for kids, and more. The Leavenworth Oktoberfest Marathon and Half Marathon is happening this Saturday. Go to teddriven.com/Leavenworth-marathon to register. For more information on other community events, visit ncwlife.com.
When it comes to finding a memory care community, you want the very best. You want to know that your loved one is safe and receiving compassionate care in a loving environment. Fieldstone Memory Care is an innovative assisted living community designed for those with Alzheimer's, dementia, and Parkinson's disease. You'll find a community specifically designed to enrich residents' lives. The Fieldstone team is here to help you navigate the important decisions you face when a loved one has dementia or Alzheimer's. Welcome home to Fieldstone.
And we are back as our live broadcast at Wake Up Wenatchee Valley continues from Fieldstone Memory Care, a beautiful campus right off Red Apple Road in Wenatchee. And joining me now is the head dude, the big cheese, el numero uno, the honcho himself, the CEO of Fieldstone Memory Care, Doug Ellenson joins us. Good morning, Doug. Thanks for joining me. Good to see you. Again, first timer, just like tomorrow, a little something about Doug. Doug 101. Tell the folks about you.
Well, I'm old, bald, and what more do you want to know?
Well, the
I
camera
grew
shows
up
that.
in Yakima. Been in Yakima since 1975. We moved actually from Calgary, Alberta, Canada, where my father was a physician in Canada and wanted to buy an apple orchard. So for us kids to learn how to work, so we bought an apple orchard in 1975, and all through high school, college in the summertime, that was my job, working in the apple orchard. So what really got me into this business and wanting to be in this business, when I was a child, my dad would take me to the nursing homes in Yakima and the hospitals and do rounds. And that's back before the HIPAA laws were real stringent. And so I went to the nursing homes and visited some of his patients with him. And just the environment back in the day, 3 people in a room. You had someone that they thought was senile, but they didn't really know what dementia and Alzheimer's was at the time. And so, just as a kid, I was impressed by, what the community looked like. And so the lack of dignity, everyone just kind of locked their family in there. And so I just knew at the time that I want to do something to make it better. I would never want my grandparents to go through that or my parents. And so that's what got me into the business. And so fast forward multiple years, of course, the industry changed. Assisted living was born.
We learn more about dementia and Alzheimer's.
Correct. And so Justin Yonker, my business partner, and I started this company in 2013. Started talking about it in 2011, 10, 11, and started coming up with a plan. And we wanted to create an environment for all seniors, especially with Alzheimer's and dementia. And so this community, we created this from scratch and designed it in a way to take care of those with that disease, even Parkinson's and dementias. Now, Alzheimer's is one of the dementias. There's 76 different dementias out there. And so each individual with dementia has a different, unique need. And so we want to create an environment for that. Thus, what you see, you'll take a virtual tour here in a few minutes, but a couple things. So with Alzheimer's and dementia, there's a lot of anxiety. So as you look in the virtual tour, you'll notice that our corridors are not a 5-foot hallway out of their bedrooms. It's a 22-foot hallway. Because a 5-foot hallway, 6-foot hallway, which you see in a lot of communities, creates anxiety. Where do I go? What do I do? And then, of course, the town square, when you put someone on a bus and take them downtown, there's also anxiety. We're bringing the town to them. And so we created this really fun town square with a theater, a Pepsi-Cola cafe, art studio, a salon, and a serenity room with 27-foot high ceilings that the resident family members can come in, be with their loved ones here, have birthday parties here, ice cream socials, kids movie nights, and that's what we created here.
Well, as I mentioned at the top of the show, the first thing you do when you walk into the lobby and you come into this town square, there is a definite wow factor involved with it. It's colorful, it's neat, you feel like you're in a little bit of in a town square, and you get that feeling.
So we have so many life enrichment activities that happen in this town square. We'll have miniature ponies come in here, pet therapy, we'll have live music, sing-alongs, there'll be bowling where the residents will actually be able to bowl in here. Just a number of fun activities that the family can participate in, the community can participate in.
I'd love to have a party right here in the Pepsi Cafe.
When's your birthday? Let's do it.
It just passed.
Well, we can have a belated birthday.
That's true.
Yeah,
that's true.
Yeah.
So for an old bald guy, you're doing all right then, because this company's only 5 years old, and you're going great guns. What number? How many of these Fieldstone facilities exist?
So we have 8 communities now in Washington State. We're located out of Yakima, Washington, as our corporate office. We have 3 communities in Yakima: independent assisted living, a standalone memory care that's identical to this, and then an adult family home that we just built. And
how did Wenatchee end up on your radar? Specifically, why did you come to the Wenatchee Valley, and why this beautiful location here on Red Apple Road?
So we've always wanted to be in Wenatchee. Our goal for our organization is to be small and nimble, and within 2 to 3 hour drive from our corporate headquarters. And so Wenatchee's close.
I have a lot of friends up here in Wenatchee. I actually directed a day camp when I was in college up here. Carl Campbell actually was our sponsor in it, and it was a fun time. Lots of boating up here. We like to go to Chelan and do some boating as well. So Wenatchee was one of our first communities that we wanted to get into. Timing didn't work out, and we finally found land. This used to be an old cherry orchard, and it's right by the hospital, beautiful view, so it was perfect. So we purchased the land and made this happen. So,
talk about the 3 rooms that you can't see on camera behind, on the other side of us, that they have themes. You have the art room, the salon, and the serenity room. Talk about those 3 rooms.
So serenity room first. Yeah. So the serenity room is designed as a stimulating, brain stimulating room, and it also is a calming room. So sometimes with the diseases, and there's a larger gathering, you sometimes can get agitated or frustrated. It's a wonderful room to go in and sit in a comfortable chair. We have some aromatherapy oils. We can rub their hands. One of the things with Alzheimer's and dementia, when you rub their hands, that calms them, just the nerves and that sort of thing. So it's a sensory room is what it is. And low music, low light, just really comforting. We have a salon, so we'll have a hairdresser come in here every week, and the residents will set appointments, the family members for the residents will, and they'll come in and get their hair done, their nails done, whatever they want to get done. Outside public can also come in and get their hair done too, potentially, and so we'd like to have this area busy for our residents, so a lot of interaction. So grandkids can come in and get their hair cut, that type of thing, and see grandma or grandpa, and that sort of thing.
And the art room, which I find you do.
Yeah, and I won't be using that because I don't really have, I want a perm, but it's not going to happen. So our art room is an art studio, so they'll be able to go in there and paint. We belong to the Alzheimer's Association, and they have a gal that goes around and tours and does artwork for different communities. What we've done in the past, we actually, our art from our Issaquah and Yakima communities was at the Pacific Science Center in Seattle, as well as it's actually now touring through the state at different communities. So what they did is they took a fish, a goldfish, and not a live one, like a goldfish cracker or something, and put it in the middle of the table, and then all the residents were able to paint what they saw. And then they took their paintings and made a collage and framed it, and that's what's touring around. Another one was a flower. And so with the disease, you know, people think, okay, they're not going to be able to do anything. They can't communicate very well. They don't remember who I am. But they do through music. They do through art. And so that's what we do, is try to create that life enrichment activity to really stimulate their mind and their creativity. So
you talk about how wide the hallways are in the residential areas. They are very wide. It's the first thing you notice when you go into either wing is this hallway is ginormous. And there is a reason for that, right?
Because of the anxiety when you come out of your room. So, and our caregivers can also, and nursing staff can also see all the doors. There's no back hallways where residents can go hide or anything, and it's a line of sight for everybody. There's all kinds of activities that will be happening in the corridors. That's why they're wide. There's tables and puzzles and all kinds of different activities that they can do in that corridor. So
the decorations are tasteful, very well done. The photos on the walls are phenomenal. I don't know who you got to do that. Everything has a plan. Everything is there in its location for a specific reason.
So the photos on the wall, Greg Harding out of Yakima did those for us. He went online and found some local photos of Wenatchee and Chelan and the surrounding areas, as well as photos of the Northwest, mountains, etc. And so what it does is it stimulates their mind. It brings back memories and, hey, I've been there, or I remember that old car and that sort of thing. So it's local art is what photos that we have.
Talk about the rooms themselves. You have studio rooms, you have 2 companion rooms, and rooms with multiple bedrooms. The companion rooms strike me as the most interesting because you might have a spouse who is suffering from memory issues, but the other spouse does not. How does that work out? Some of these rooms.
So we do have companion rooms. There's a small handful of those, and some residents do better with another person in the room. They're divided by a wall, so it feels like you have two separate bedrooms and a shared bathroom. There's only a handful of those. Most of the rooms are studio apartments that have their own bathroom, own living space. And then we have about 10 one-bedroom units that actually have a living room, a bedroom, and a bathroom in it. The state doesn't allow for a spouse living here with their resident family member, but they come and visit often, and so.
Right. Yeah. Obviously, when one talks about memory care issues, dementia, Alzheimer's, you hear about these stories all the time. They wander off. They wander off, and all of a sudden we can't find Jerry or whatever it is. How does that address as far as the layout of the campus is concerned?
So we have a courtyard that the residents can come and go freely. It's fenced off with a gate that has a code on it. The building is a secure building, so they're not able to come and go from the building without staff or family members, and so that keeps them safe and secure here. And all the doors are alarmed. It pages. All the caregivers will have an iPhone, and it will know who it is, where they're at, what door is trying to open, and so we have a lot of things to keep people safe and secure here.
You mentioned staffing. How is that working? Are you in the process now of starting to bring in the people who are going to be working here on a regular basis?
Yeah, so we have some of our kitchen staff hired already. They'll be here tonight, of course, cooking for us. Our whole management team is here already. Our head nurse, which is our director of nursing, wonderful gentleman. They're starting to interview and hire the caregivers and the housekeeping and that. We'll have probably 55 full-time employees in this building, which will help the economy as well.
My brother will like that.
Yeah, so yeah, we're in the hiring process. And then, so the state licensing, they'll come in the next 4 to 6 weeks. In the meantime, we'll be training our staff and making sure everyone's got the culture and the right compassion and caring for our residents. So.
And that's really the most important thing. Well, in fact, I'll give you the last word, and again, you'll have a chance to meet Doug personally tonight during the open house. Fieldstone, sell Fieldstone to me as a client. Why? I mean, I know, I've been in here. This is a beautiful campus, and if I had a family member who were dealing with Alzheimer's or dementia or memory care issues, this is where I would want them to be. Sell Fieldstone to the general public. The philosophy, why they should be here.
It's all about the care and compassion and dignity for our residents. Yes, it's a beautiful community with all the amenities, but that's all surface. It's the care and compassion we have for residents and the staff that we hire and train to actually care for them, understand the disease and that sort of thing. You know, I mentioned my father early on, going to the nursing homes with him and that sort of thing. You know, he had a huge bedside manner. Just his whole outlook in life was caring and healing and helping those that needed help. And so he ended up passing away 2 years ago with Lewy body dementia and Parkinson's. And he's the reason I'm doing this business. So, yeah, he was my mentor in this business.
You said one word that jumped out at me, dignity. It's really the most important thing of all, is dignity, isn't it?
Everybody that is here was somebody. You know, it doesn't matter what background of life it is. You know, they were vibrant, lively people, and now they're struggling with the daily activities of life and incontinence and eating and all that sort of thing. So how do you, the whole idea is to just make them feel at home, not embarrassed. You know, life happens, and so we're here to take care of them as our own family, as some of us have taken care of our own family members, and so.
One more item of a thing I want to touch on real quickly. I've been to memory care facilities that are they're all fenced off because they have to be.
Right.
Again, we talked about the wandering out thing. They all had solid fences that you could not see the outside world. You do not have that here. It's an open campus feeling with a beautiful view of Saddle Rock.
Yeah, so there's a daycare center behind us, and the kids are out there playing all the time, which is important. we love children. In fact, we're going to have activities where the children come over and bake cookies with the residents and that sort of thing. And so, yeah, we want them to be able to see the outside world as well.
It is tonight, the ribbon cutting and open house. Doug?
Thank you so much.
Thanks for putting up with our nonsense and disrupting your
It's been fun. No, it's great.
Good, I appreciate it.
Birthday party coming next week here for you.
Fieldstone Memory Care, folks, check it out. Open house is tonight. Everybody have yourself a great Wednesday. We'll see you tomorrow. Take care. Bye-bye.